Hello everyone, welcome to RNG University. So today I got a few quests that were all playing red cards or attacking with creatures. Instead of playing mono red aggro, I thought about, hey, why don't I try the Jund deck that I saw a lot, happening in recent days. I honestly don't want to play mono blue, so I try to make my deck sort of strong against that. Obviously, a big part of the meta is also mono black, so we gotta be able to prepare for that as well. So here's the deck list. We have a lot of 2 casts in terms of the underdog, the Bloodtide Harvester. These should be pretty good early game to stop the aggro from killing us. We also have an Unlicensed Hearse just in there to take out those pesky blue decks with their Jins that come out with 15/4 flying, or their 1 mana 5/5 Tolarian Horror, whatever it's called, that has ward. Yeah, this is there to try to slow that down if we get to hit it. Obviously, we only run 1 off, so maybe not. As far as the removal go, we have 2 Cut Down, 2 Voltic Surge, 2 Tear Asunder, kind of covers the whole board. And we have Meathook Massacre, just a good old Meathook to kind of get us back in the game if we lose on board. Then going to the 3 casts, we have 4 Liliana, 4 Fable, kind of explains as to what they are themselves. For Jund, obviously we're running Windgrace to get our lands to do a lot of different things. And Nirvana, in order for us to kind of exile opponent's creatures, definitely a good thing. But also to give us a card advantage over time if we want to sack saplings to draw cards, we can always do that. Cruelty of the Gix, fantastic card. It's got 3 chapters. Each chapter has a meaningful ability, and basically it's a 1 for 3 if we can get all 3 chapters to happen. But if we need to, in a pinch, we can go to chapter 2 to tutor for a card, or chapter 3 to reanimate a creature. Then, of course, at the end, we have 4 Titan of Industry to do Titan of Industry things. Now, if you notice this deck, we have 3 Windgrace, which means that we want to have lands in the graveyard for Windgrace to have some effect, which means that we're running the Riveteer's Overlook, also known as the Evolving Jund. So that's what we're going to use to put lands in the graveyard to fetch back. 4 Zeotor's Proving Ground. They're triumphs for Jund, which means we can also cycle it for a card draw and then bring it back with Soul of Windgrace. Both of these adds up to 4 each, so 8 total. That can really help us. We also have 3 channel lands in Takenuma, Sokazen, and Boseiju, so we can channel those as well and bring them back into play with Soul of Windgrace. Always good to ramp with Soul of Windgrace. So your opponent think that you're not running a ramp spells. 1 creature gives you an extra mana. That's always good. Then because we have 4 Riveteer Overlook, we need to have some basic lands in the deck. So we have 2 Swamps, 2 Mountains, 2 Forests to do exactly that. I don't want to run too much of the basics because we might be mana screwed if that was the case, or at least color screwed. And then we have 3 of the each tap lands, the slow lands. They're very good, and at least if we played them after 2 lands, they're going to play untapped. They're almost like dual lands in and of themselves. We're not running them the ping lands because we can't fit any in. So that's the only reason. We're not really worried about our life totals or taking damage from those lands because we have Titan of Industry. But the problem is we can't fit them in, and obviously the tap lands are slightly better than that late game, so we're just going to run that anyways. Pretty late game deck. Early game tempo wise, it's not very strong, but it's really just got these small things and removals to try to stay alive. Kind of my playstyle. Obviously, it's probably still going to struggle against mono blue. Everything kind of struggles a little bit against mono blue, so that is not what I wanted to go to. So let us go to standard ranked, and we'll go to Jund, and we'll play the Jund things. Alright, this is a Jund Windgrace deck. Hopefully it's strong enough to be fun. I do know that it's definitely strong enough to be in the meta, so it's not one of those decks that I was brewing that kind of came out of nowhere and just lose 15 games in a row. But you never know, maybe my luck, I'll just lose 15 games in a row anyways. When we start the game, we got 2 lands and a Fable. We're going first, so I don't really like mulliganing on first. But we do need to draw a land in the next 2 turns, or we're going to be really far behind. I'll keep though, because we have a cut down to potentially stave off our opponent's aggression for a little bit. But after that, we really need to have land. 26 lands in the deck. Cold Conscript. Okay, so we got a Sokazen. That's very good. So now, at the very least, next turn we'll go to Fable, and that will get us into the game. But if our opponent doesn't play anything, we will cut the conscript down, but we'll take 2 damage first, just in case they play anything else. The underdog would much rather cut one of those. Bank Buster, okay, so we will cut this conscript down. Alright, now we got the Haunted Ridge, so I'd rather play that first and play our Fable. Fable on curve is just so amazing. We don't have any lands in the graveyard, so unfortunately we cannot use the Soul Windgrace right away. But we might be able to channel our Soulkazin and then bring it back out with Soul Windgrace. Or if our opponent just makes us discard a card, no, it's probably going to make us sack. So yeah, we sack a creature. That's totally fine. We can discard 2 cards. I can't discard Soulkazin here because it's very risky, right? If I discard Soulkazin and I don't draw a land, I'm just behind on the land. So instead, I'm going to pitch my Massacre, and that's the only thing I think I'm going to pitch, maybe. I do want to play Namada eventually, and I think this turn will probably be a good turn to play it because our opponent will remove it, and then we can bring it back later on with another spell. So yeah, it's unfortunate. If we had a Titan, we could totally pitch that as well. And see, we did not draw a land. It's a good thing we did not get rid of our Soulkazin. Let's drop the Namada and put that reach to effect a little bit. No lands in the graveyard so far. Opponent's probably going to make us discard, which means that our Titan of Industry can go. Maybe it's a Soul of Windgrace. I'm not quite sure. It's not doing much without any lands in the graveyard. But we're never getting to the Titan of Industry at this pace.
Drop it.
So he discarded an Infernal Grasp, which means he probably has some form of removal. What the heck? No, this can't block, right? I mean, I can just take out his Liliana this way. Okay, well, I guess that happened.
Fine.
And then we'll play our Bloodtide Harvester, get a blood token, everything is good. The thing about this Zombie Decay is that we have Namada out, so instead of it dying, won't it just get exiled? I'm not really quite sure what's going on here. So if it gets exiled, we're going to get a 1-1, and he can't use the construct because no creature will hit the graveyard. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. But at his end turn, I will create a Bloodtide Harvester. I think this... No, I don't have haste. Yeah, so that happened. That's to stop me from being able to cast that. That's fine. Alright, so there's a question of whether or not I want to Boseiju his Bank Buster. It does ramp him, and then I can't really do anything after that. That might not be the best plan, but the Boseiju really isn't doing anything as a land on the field right now. So maybe it's better just to hold it. Okay, so maybe I'll also hold a Bloodtide Harvester in order to kill a creature with 2 power or 2 toughness. I don't see it being that useful. Let's just go in for damage. The Namada is stopping him from having any creature hit the graveyard. Invoke Despair. Alright, so sack a creature. He gets to draw 2 cards. Pretty good for him. Always hurts when you get Invoke Despair on. I will pitch the Boseiju because it's not very useful now. Try to get a better card. And we get a land. And we get Liliana. So none of these are better cards. Got 3 cards in the hand, so Liliana will do a little bit of damage to that hand. No reason to make him sack. Well, is there a reason to make him sack?
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
I can kill the Decay, but I'll only make it 1-1. That's still good.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Liliana really isn't doing much by making him discard. I don't know if he has a land or something in his hand. And he has Invoke. Now I can use the Sapling to Ether Invoke. So that might be a small plus. Not a big plus to us, but it's not nothing. Our draw hasn't been the greatest, but then maybe his draw hasn't been the greatest either. He's going to draw with the Roadside Reliquary. Yep. Voltic Surge, huh? We can't really Voltic Surge anything, and Liliana's just gonna make us discard it. That's unfortunate. Maybe it's better to not discard? I don't know. Not discarding feels kind of tough. Yeah, I'm just making a discard.
Don't overthink things.
We did trade the Voltic Surge for a land, which is not the best thing to happen, but in this scenario, having Liliana with the -2 potentially is very good. He's gonna crew the Bankbuster, but if he crews a Bankbuster and attacks Liliana, the backswing is about 5 damage. I didn't do it. I swear it wasn't me. He did not attack. Alright, so if he doesn't attack, we'll have our Liliana kill herself. So you sack a creature.
Here.
You can sack your Bankbuster too.
Time.
Oh, we can sack the 1/1. I guess.
Sacrifices must be made.
Sacrifices must be made. Okay, so then we can use Namada to draw a card, but let's see what he does. If he doesn't block our original Namada, we can sack this for 5 damage. I don't know, does he have a removal? Is that what's going on? GG. So yeah, I guess we clutched that game out, but there was some weird plays that was going on here. We didn't draw any lands. With 26 lands in his deck, we only dropped 5 of them. I think our opponent drew more lands than us. See, all these require us to either play attack or play green spells, so we're just gonna keep going. First game, the Jun against... Gosh, was that mono black? This weird mono black deck. I really don't care for mono black. I hate mono blue, but mono black is just one of those decks that I think everyone's teching against nowadays. So if you want to play in ladder, I think it's better to tech against mono black than to just play mono black. Alright, we get to go first with 2 Titans in hand. We're gonna keep because we have 3 lands. God knows we're not drawing any more lands. Drop Swamp first in order to cut down if we need to. Maybe they have a Delver, maybe they have a Conscript, they have an Evolved Sleeper. Gonna go sleep with the fishes. Alright. This is Shuffler's Fine situation going on. We draw all of our 7 drops in the beginning of the game. It's basically Wizard telling you that they don't want you to keep winning. Crystal Grotto. I don't get this card. I mean, I guess you get to scry 1, but... is that good of a card to put in your mono black deck? Also mono black again. Alright, I guess we're just gonna draw lands and nothing else. We don't even have red here. It's really frustrating. We're gonna take a lot of damage because our opening hand was terrible and there's no way we can mulligan that. And now we have Graveyard Trespasser to deal with. Which means we can't even try to discard our Titan to bring it back. He's exiling his own cards. Alright, I'm gonna just play an Underdog as a blocker in case he wants to attack with the Trespasser. Or you can just remove the Underdog, which, I mean, that's what I would do. Really nothing else we can do about that. We could have blitzed the Underdog, but that's just to eat the Graveyard Trespasser. And maybe draw a card. It's not that good. He's gonna make us sack it, which is fine. Nothing really much we can do about that.
Ah, one of your friends has to leave.
Alright, we're taking 7 this turn. He's gonna eat our Underdog. We're gonna go down to 9 with basically nothing in our hand. And if we draw lands the next 3 turns, we might be able to Titan at some point. But other than that, there is no way we can win this. So I'm just gonna quit. Yeah, that was not a good experience. But this is what happens in Magic sometimes. You draw all of your late games, early game, and your opponent draws their early game. And all we play were, I think, black spells. What did I even play? I don't even remember what I played. I think one underdog. I think that was it. Oh, and a cut down. Yeah, so only black spells, no green. So no green and no red. No quest completion there. We get to go first again with 2 underdogs. That is so much better of a hand. The shuffler give us, the shuffler take us away. Alright, and when we have a good hand, our opponent is one of those guys that has their PhD in saucy and is out there making sauce instead of playing the game. Here we go. We're back. We're going to also play the Proving Ground. Well, then give him the dogs. Do you have your dog too? We can dog on dog, dog off. Blood Tide Harvester. Okay, so I guess the dog on dog fight is gonna start now. Or dog on vampire fight. You kill my dog. Say hello to Exodia. Not really, just a second dog. Can you imagine if you have like 5 copies of Tenacious Underdog, you win the game or something? That would be pretty fun. Alright, Blood Tide Harvester number 2. It's a bit annoying. So he's got 4, or he's got 2 blood tokens, which means he can -4 us. -4 means he'll kill Windgraze, he'll kill Namada, he'll basically be able to kill anything. So let's get our dogs attacking first. Maybe we'll get something. He's not going to block here. He is going to block here? Huh. That is a definite surprise. So I think the line of thought that I had was if he doesn't, if he blocks, then I'll play one of the 4-drops. If he doesn't block, then I'll play a 4-drop that I want to die, or maybe hold up Tear of Thunder. I do not have any lands in the graveyard again for Windgrace, unfortunately, so Namadas it is. I mean, he can blood token, but he can't kill it, hopefully. Maybe he has the 1 mana 4 damage red spell. Shieldred. Ugh. Ah, I forgot to set the stops. Looks like we're taking that damage. Alright, so we'll take that damage. And Liliana is going to help us out here with the good old sack of creatures.
A fight? And you think you can win? I've always hated crowds.
Take 3. Going first really just gives you a lot of time to commanding lead. And it's not even if your deck is better or not, because their cards to play that are very strong. Even against us, they're significantly or sufficiently strong, I would say. But the problem with that is we went first, so we have the commanding lead. Alright, and then they got a Goblin Shamo out, so our 1/1 can no longer attack him. Okay, he's gonna... Why did he do it on my upkeep? Does that matter? I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get me to... Yeah, I don't... You put a land in your graveyard, though? That would help me. I guess... Maybe Liliana's gonna force a land in his graveyard.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Oh, you fool! Thanks for the Boseiju. Alright, I'm not gonna attack. Another land? Is he gonna remove my Soul of Windgrace? Because putting all those lands in his graveyard is not the best. Oh, he's got it, my Titan. Okay, so... No, he doesn't have my Titan. Dude, do you not read cards? Buddy, you okay there? Alright, well, he did not read about Tear Asunder, so he's about to get teared asunder. Right, I definitely need to stop him from tutoring, so time to rip that out of his board here. Be gone. And then also be gone.
Don't overthink things.
Don't overthink things. That's a good motto. Alright, he's got the reflection out. I got nothing on the board. Nice top deck, dude. Okay, so this might swing him the game because he can bring out my Titan, and I don't have anything. So we can make a 4/4 and gain some life, maybe? Maybe put it a shield counter? I don't know if a shield counter matters in this. Yep, 4/4, gain 5 life. Attack it, so I have to block with my little 1/1 sapling. Unfortunately, all we got is a little tiny draw. So, no point in making this card, you sack a creature. Gonna sack his 4/4 or the 2/2.
One of your friends has to leave.
One of your friends has to leave. One of my friends is screwing up the game. I don't even have any. Alright, so I can make a card draw if I discard a land. So I should do that first. Oh, nice. It's exactly what I needed for him to copy a Titan of Industry. Jesus Christ. This is like the most frustrating game of Magic I'll ever play, where all I do is discard fucking swamps after swamps after swamp. Like, cut down finally. Take that. Alright, I needed to cut that down after discarding like 4 lands. And now we're on the top deck war. He's gonna kill Liliana, which doesn't matter as much because she is down to 1 loyalty. And if he attacked with a Titan, then it's tapped out. He attacks with a 4/4, big mistake. I don't know what's in his hand, but I would not attack with that 4/4.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Liliana's line is the best. Even when I'm losing, I just love hearing her lines. It's hilarious. Alright, so his top decks are amazing. Until now, all he got are lands. My top decks are, again, just lands, so... Alright, let's get more lands out of the way, I guess. Titan. I'll be able to play that next turn, I guess. I'll be taking 11 though, so that's a little bit scary. Right, I should keep up a blocker, but that's a losing proposition. If I go down to 12 and I take 11, I think I'll just die, which is not very good for us. And I don't even know what card that is. If it's any extra 1 damage, we'd lose the entire game. And that's a bit scary, but not playing the underdog here and blitzing is definitely bad, so I'll do that. I will keep the Windgrace back to block. Potentially, unfortunately, it's just a tiny 4/4. Second Liliana. Alright, so... it's something, but he has 2 cards in his hand. It's very scary for me. I will take the 7, so I'm going down to 5. He's got land and second Titan. Okay. What can I do against second Titan? I'm not actually sure if there's anything I can do against second Titan. I can play my only Titan. I gain 5 life, I go to 10. One of my Titan will be able to block that. The 4/4 will be able to block... Yep. My Titan. Gain 5 life, make a 4/4. Gain 5 life, make a 4/4. Hopefully only top cycle land. He just attacks us, so we will block it accordingly. And we go down to 3. And he has Fable? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. His top decks are ridiculous. And our top decks are horrendous. I did not mean to make it out of line. It's just
Happy to help.
frustrating when their deck is better than ours. In the top deck. Not in anything else. Just, you know, when they're drawing amazing cards. And when we're drawing crappy cards. Maybe at some point, we're gonna get revenge on them. Alright, so what are we removing there? Oh no, multi-harvester probably? Alright, we got a little Meathook Massacre here. We can Meathook for 0, which we definitely will do if we're going to Liliana for 0. Or for +1. Alright, and then we can Tenacious Underdog
We all have things we
to draw a card, and then we go down to 1 life, and then we gain up to 2 life. Not that, well actually, we don't gain up to 2 life. Whenever a creature opponent control dies, we gain 1 life. So, we're just gonna go down to 2 life. That is, or you to go down to 1 life. That's very risky, but 1 life and 2 life isn't that different against a Jund deck. Watch as I die to 1 life. Come on. Ah, fine. I don't even know. Shieldred. Okay, well, we die anyways. No removal. Opponent got 2 of their cruelty. We got 0 of our cruelty, so they stole our Titan. Yeah, and that's how we lose that game. Unfortunate, but it was a long grind, and honestly, that I don't think that I could have played that game any differently to pull myself out of that. I have to review the video, but I don't think there was a better way to play that. It was just bad draws all around, which yeah, that's everyday life in Magic the Gathering, right? All right, opponent goes first. We have 2 cut down. Hopefully, we draw one of our Riveteer Outlook. Like, what the heck? We have Soul Windgrace every single game, and we have 0 Riveteers Outlook. Double. Okay. Well, there is a call for not playing Zerator's Proving Ground, so that we can cycle it. But nah. We got 2 channel lands in our hand. We can always just channel those. And looking at that blue, we're probably playing against mono blue, which means nothing really here matters. Nothing really matters. We have 3 Soul of Windgrace. Now they're all in our hand. Alright, that means we're not playing Sulkazin for sure. And I also thought about not playing Takenuma, which is why I put the tap land first. It really depends. I don't think blue deck's going to have 2 cut down targets for me anyway, so these cut downs are not going to do anything. Here is Deathclap Glade. So yeah, we're going to really Sulkazin his board up. I don't really know. If he brings out that Jin, we just die. There's nothing we can do about that. Okie dokie. We have to play a land this turn, so let's drop the Takenuma. And this does have haste, so we're going to channel to try to attack him for 2. He's probably going to bounce 1. Maybe he'll bounce both. Thirst. You thirsty there? You're thirsty for your shitty deck? I don't know who thought it was a good idea to make this deck, because it's a plague in a meta. It's not fun to play against. It's also not fun to play, because you have to have your Jin in your hand to win. And if you don't, you can play all these counter spells and your opponent eventually will overwhelm you. So it's really not a good existence of a deck. Do they have? Oh, let's make this appear in Syncopate. I thought they had that Academy Lore Master lady. Alright, he's got 2 lands open, so he's probably going to have a Make This Appear or Syncopate. So I don't know if I should start dropping Windgrace 1 by 1 just to take out his counter spells, but Bloodtide Harvester allows us to filter a little bit more. We don't need these cut downs. And if he wants to Make This Appear a Bloodtide Harvester, like, that's not really a thing. The problem with our opening is that we did not have any of the faster drops. Okay, so now he's got a Tolarian Horror out, and we got nothing. This gives him -X/-X, makes it a 3/3. That's... I mean, he's got all those lands open, so... Terra Thunder. Terra Thunder doesn't do anything. Soul of Windgrace, let's see if we can get that without counters. We're probably gonna get countered, and then I'll quit. Yep, there's that Syncopate, and there goes me. I don't get it. 26 lands in this deck, and every single game I've been land screwed. Except that one game when all I drew were lands. If it even gets to average out once, I don't think this will be too much of a problem. So, I'm looking for like a 50% win rate with this deck, but honestly, you have to play a lot of games to get to that level. And, you know, if you have hands like these all the time where all the big drops that just get stuck in your hand, it's not going to help, right? I have a cut down. I have a Fable. Let's hope that I get my third land here. Bank Buster. Okay, well, we get our third land, so instead of killing the Bank Buster, I guess we'll get the Fable down. The scary part about getting the Fable down is that once I pitch my Titan, there's going to be a Graveyard Trespasser, and all of my plans go out the window. But if it happens, we kind of have to eat it. Liliana of the Veil.
I'll have this
Alright,
fight
well,
finished before
there goes the
brunch.
little 2-2 here.
Off you go.
All the Titans. Well, maybe her Liliana, or her, I don't know. It's Liliana's gonna give us a potential chance to discard. That's always a possibility. If he discards a land, our Windgrace will do something. There's the discard. There goes our third
Drop
Titan.
it.
Now we discard a sword. Yeesh. So the Windgrace won't do anything. And he's got removal for days. Alright, if the Windgrace won't do anything, maybe it's time to discard it. Yeah, it's not really jamming up the board here. Unlicensed Hearse is not doing much in this meta, so I can also toss that. The cut down could have roles to play, but you know, I think Unlicensed Hearse might also have a hidden aggro sort of damage out of the way, so I'll take out the cut down. At this point of the game, the cut down really isn't doing all the damage, and then we draw our fourth Titan. Okay, so 4 Titans it is. I'll get my Unlicensed Hearse out. I thought about holding up Terra Thunder to take out the Liliana, but really it's just on the discard path. And yeah. Unlicensed Hearse is a lot harder to deal with for a black deck. As long as I never make it into a creature. Alright, 4 Titans, go to the
We all
graveyard.
have things we'd rather forget.
All 4 Titans. Look at this. I don't know what's going on with the random number generator at Wizard, but it is not a random number generator. That number is not random. Alright, do you have anything to play, or are you gonna crew your Bank Buster, or what's going on? Baz. You're gonna Infernal Grasp a third time, or second time? That's your whole play? I mean, I guess you can do that. No, I don't want to take all your Grasp, I'll take all your Sword. Peace. Okay, well, if he also plus his Liliana, I guess I can just he's probably gonna minus Liliana, take out the Reflection. So it's time to tear a Thunder.
I knew this was a waste of time.
I thought about attacking there, but not worth it. He might have removal. He's got 2 lands open, and all he did so far is just remove all of my creatures. This deck does not have any card draw, so we're going to be playing on the back foot here because of reasons. He's got 3 cards, he's got another Liliana, and now that one's going to make us kill our Reflection.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it.
Yeah, there he goes. Unfortunate.
I've always hated crowds.
Here goes your Infernal Grasps. And we draw all lands. That's nice. Is it just me, or am I getting bad draws? Because this is not a bad deck. I've seen this deck play. I've played against this deck, and they've always had some sort of a strong plays against me when it happens. What the heck? I don't think I'm playing any part of it wrong, because, I mean, how can I? Are you saying I shouldn't have pitched all of my Titans to get lands out early game? Because if I didn't, I would just have Titans stuck in my hand and Liliana's going to make me discard it. I don't really understand this at all. Now he's got a pilot. Alright, he's going to discard into my unlicensed first.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Soul of Windgrace, huh? After all this, still 0 lands in the graveyard. Still gotta play it. Look at that. Look at that embarrassment. Alright, time to crew up our unlicensed hearse. And hit that Liliana? I mean, the Sorin can make creatures and card draw, but the Liliana can make me sack my Soul of Windgrace. Either way, he's just gonna block. Might as well get maximum damage if he chooses not to block. Alright, so for all the games I've been playing, I've barely ever gotten the underdog out. I've barely ever gotten the Bloodtide Harvester out, and really, it's the one game where I had those out, I won the game. So, and now there's an Invoke. This is just embarrassing. Like, what game is this? Okay, discard card. I'm gonna top deck a land. Just rewatch. In fact, I'm gonna top deck that Riveteer Outlook thing that I've never drew before. It's gonna be right here, right now. Watch it happen. Oh, and then they have a Graveyard Trespasser. I don't even care what I do now. Nothing can help me out of this. What the heck? There's 4 of these, you idiot! Tenacious Underdog. Ooh, that's surprising. Okay, if I have an Underdog, I can still blitz. I can blitz it at Liliana. Should I blitz at Liliana? I mean, I need to kill the Planeswalkers. He's probably just gonna block. Think he'll block with a Bank Buster? It really depends on what I... Oh, I'm just gonna let Liliana die and play another Liliana?
Fine.
What I would do.
I'll take my zombies and leave.
Yes, take your zombies and leave. Okay, I'm just gonna quit. I gotta land. That Sorin's gonna minus 7 on me. Alright, this is disheartening. This deck is not this bad, but we're not drawing our 2-drops in any of the games. Maybe it's time to aggressively mulligan for them. I have not been aggressively mulliganing for them. And that's always my issue playing Standard. Unlike EDH, unlike Commander, where you get free mulls. I don't get free mulls here, and I'm never sure when to mulligan, but sometimes these hands, they're just so bad. Well, this time we do have Underdog, and we do have the Riveteer's Outlook, so should I keep? But the problem is I can't really get any lands out early. So, Riveteers for a black? Yep. Or a Black Source. But it's still against mono black, so maybe not mono black. This is, well, mono black it is. Yeah, this is difficult to overcome. Especially when we don't draw a 3rd land. So, now that we have our 2 drops, we're not drawing 3rd land. Alright, good luck discarding something. Fable? Probably Fable. Maybe Liliana? I don't even have a 3rd land, so if I was them, I would be aiming for the Fable. Main deck the rest. Oh, it's what's it called? Rakdos. Hey, look, no 3 lands. Sad face emoji. Sad face emoji unlocked. I have 26 lands. in the deck and 2 Meathook Massacre. I drew the same amount of lands as Meathook Massacre after I fetched for a land. Meathook for 2. Good job. You did it. You've unlocked Magic the Gathering. I have 3 lands and I can't even play anything. They have 3 lands, or they have 5 lands. They have all the colors they need. And they're not playing anything. That's so weird. What deck is that? Liliana of the Veil. Well, I got a lot of Meathooks I can kind of feed to Liliana here.
For brunch.
Resolve.
We all have things we'd rather.
Oh, a land. What do you know? Now the Windgrace can come out. I don't want a mountain. I want my Riveteer's Outlook. Overlook. Get me a Swampity Swamp. Alright, you can kill my Windgrace for the -2. I can either Blitz my underdog or Voltic Surge you. Either way, your Liliana's not long for this world. If you play a creature, it's going to come into my Liliana. So if you're smart, I think the better choice is to discard a card and try to protect it by going wide. I don't even know. What's in your hand, really? Yeah, that's
Sacrifices must be
probably
made.
not the best ability. If you want to keep your Liliana, that is. Invoke? I mean, did you really just need to draw 3 cards there? Was that the best play? Invoke. Alright, here's 2 damage. Submit 0.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
It is your cue to leave. Now leave. So he's got 4 cards. Probably will have removal for Namada, but I'm playing it anyways because it has the biggest potential on the board. Dropping a Liliana isn't really a point here. There's no creature out, and I definitely don't want to use a discard because their discard's better. They have more cards in hand than me. All right, do I have any lands? I do have lands. So there is a play with Soul of Windgrace, but there's also a play with me hooking for 2. To kill that, what's that called again? The treasure token making thing. Yeah, that's the official name now. He's not gonna block, is he? That'd be pretty awkward if he blocks. Okay, so or I can Liliana. Liliana's always nice. Give me a 1/1.
Happy to help. Off you go.
And here is an unlicensed hearse. I did not license it. It came out of nowhere. Yeah, put cards in your graveyard. You know you want to do that. Put lands in your graveyard. Yes, that's the smart thing. You're not playing against a Windgrace deck or anything. Oh no, he's gonna eat my graveyard. My 1 Windgrace. Oh, my underdog. Obviously the underdog. And he's gone. This Meathook Massacre is going to be juicy. You got any other place? No? Let me just exile some cards. No Liliana, no Invoke. I will get to play a land, Meathook for 3, and swing for 1. Or should I just attack first? Nah, I want to keep my Namada. I mean, why would I attack with a 0? Okay, so do I want to discard my Windgrace? I think it's better to have a Windgrace in hand than to have an extra loyalty on Liliana. I think. Not quite sure. It's close. Because Liliana with 2 loyalty can kill one of his creatures. And right now I cannot. And knowing this deck, they just feed me with Windgrace without land, so... Yeah, this is one of the games where I have a pretty even distribution of land draws, and other card draws, and look how much better it's been doing already. That's the frustrating part of this game. But I can't kill the Fable now, which is a big problem. Let me exile some cards in the graveyard. Alright. I don't need all of your lands. My Windgrace can give me all of my lands. Oh, that's very nice. Alright, do I want to Gex one of his... the one card in his hand? Is it worth it? But I still cannot discard if I do that. So I guess the better thing to do is to discard. Right? Yeah. Better thing to do is discard my Windgrace.
You won't be
See what he has.
me.
Just a land. Okay, so now that I've discarded the Windgrace, I can bring it back with Cruelty of Gex. Assuming he doesn't exile it right away, which I don't think he can. So I can search my library for a card. I'll search for Voltic Surge. Oh, that's so good. Or a cut down. No, Voltic Surge. I better still have a Voltic Surge. Did I pick both? Okay, no. Have the Voltic Surge your reflection. Take that. Have a crew. This guy and this guy. Give him the business. Alright, you got one turn here. Unless you can somehow exile both Windgrace. GG. So see, if you draw your 2-drop and you're not flooded or screwed in the game, this deck is not bad. Unfortunately, we didn't finish any of the quests, so let's keep going. Waiting for opponent. Hello, opponent. You cooking? You're cooking your... I don't know. I got nothing on that. So yeah, we got 2 Riveteers. Obviously gonna keep that. We'll start with a black. I mean, doesn't really matter that much. Playing a Riveteer, opponent knows we're Jund. Alright, aggro. Let's see if we have anything to stand up to aggro. Second Riveteer for green. I don't know if we can ramp to Titan of Industry fast enough. What? Boros? Or Rakdos aggro? That's a weird aggro combo. But hey, you know, one who wants to play, they get to play. We'll play our Titan of Industry at some point. But so Windgrace definitely coming soon. We gotta draw an untapped land. Alright, that's risky. So we gotta pitch a Titan of Industry and an Underdog to try to get an untapped land. Or we can just take the damage here. Just take the damage. The worrisome part is if he has removal. That's not removal, but let's see what he sacks. He doesn't sack anything. Do you know how to play that card, dude? Okay, so there is an argument for discarding both Titan and try to get out a just a strong board. That could be an argument, but I don't see it. I think it's more important to get some lands out, so we can get our Soul of Windgrace out. And we'll get our Riveteer Overlook to fetch for another green, because we're going to need 3 greens for Titan of Industry. And we'll attack for 2. Yep, of course we're going to block. I can discard lands to gain life. I keep forgetting about that. That's a non-zero amount of deal here. What the heck is this deck? It's got some weird cards in there. No attack? Yes attack? I have no idea. No attack. You're gonna not attack? Sack an enchantment? I'll sack an enchantment. I don't think the I don't think the Mirror Breaker is gonna do anything now. Get the Phyrexis counter, right? Good luck getting to 7, dude. my turn. Okay, so this will attack for 5. He can't crew this. He can crew this for 2. I can crew this to trade with my Soul of Windgrace, which I think is fine. If he trades, actually, I should have a Namada out. If he trades, I get a 1/1, right? So, or the other call is to play Fable. I don't think I need to play Fable because I can already summon my Titan next turn. So let's get the Namada out. And if he decides to block, it'll be fantastic for us. But even if he doesn't block, we get a land out. And we gain a life. The Riveteer's Overlook is slowly getting our life back. Alright, so 2 mountains. We already have 2 swamps, or 2 swamp sources. Would you like to block? Okay, that's fine with us. You lose a creature, you get a 1/1. I don't need that many Soul of Windgrace out, but I can also play another land. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I already have 7 lands out. I think it's better to have the Bloodtide Harvester out. You can already play the Titan. And the Titan will pop your Weatherlight Completed. This card has so much potential. I just don't see it nowadays. You gotta have 4 of your creatures die for it to do anything. And if 4 of your creatures died and you're playing an aggro deck, you're probably losing. If 4 of your creatures die and you're playing a mid-range to control deck, you're probably losing. Guys, I don't see Weatherlight Completed being that useful in any game, but maybe this guy will prove me wrong. He is cooking. I respect him for that. I like to cook too. Sack a creature? I mean, you know, if you sack a creature, I get a creature, right? You don't know how that game works? Okay, so I'll hold the Swamp for Fable, I guess. I don't think it has counter spells. So here is Titan of Industry. And equip. Exactly. Like I said, this deck is good. I think I got to a 50% win rate at the end there. This deck is good. It's definitely something that needs to be experimented with. That as far as mulligan go, you need to aggressively mull for the 2 drops. Otherwise, kind of going to lose all the games. And that's all I got for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me just pull up the deck list again so that you can familiarize yourself with it. Yeah, the 2 drops are very important to hit off. Maybe to take out the Tear Thunder and put in 2 more underdog, or take out Hearst to put in another underdog. Those are all considerations that can be made. But early game, you need to have your 2 drops out to sustain to the late game. That's my thoughts. Thank you very much for joining me. See you guys next time.